So that should, if I select the front tank, fill the front tank up. Yay. And I do not remember how much liquid fertilizer we have left. That's not bad. Actually, that's quite good. That's more than I thought we had. Okay. And jump out, and we'll detach the hose then. And turn the tractor around. Select the tank at the back. That should be good enough. That's plugged in there. And again, I need to check. Change pump direction to empty. That's fine. Turn that on. Surprisingly, not any issues. Oh wow. Okay, we have 1700 litres. I think we might be able to do 39 on the way out, so we'll do that. And turn off the pump. And the problem is if I don't turn off the pump, then the pump stays running, and we have all sorts of issues with the fertilizer not working. Okay, and our tank disappeared. Now I think I bought that as a refillable tank, and it's refillable until you empty it after a game save. And once you've done a game save and emptied it, then it's not refillable, or it disappears. Which is a bit sad. But anyway. Okay, field 39, let's go. So it's been a while since we messed around in 39, I must admit. I do need to check. Okay. The tanks aren't on automatic, which they don't want to be for contracts, because otherwise they just dump pretty much maximum rate fertilizer on everything, and they count as 1/3 of the required fertilizer for the contract field. Okay, 39 should be this field here. And the question is how do we get in? Let's get in the cab and drive down the road like normal people. I can probably run through that hedge there and further scratch the paintwork. I think... Oh, it's been so long since we've been in that field. There's a gate here. Which takes us into the grass field. I think we can cut through there. Guess we'll find out soon enough. Ugh. And yes, I should shut that gate. But, okay, that's actually the way in. Yay. What is this stuff? Oh, canola. Okay. Nice. So again, this was planted in the fall, and and we'll be ready to harvest end of summer, I guess. What we're not sure about at the moment is how well it's fertilized. Oh, it's not. Okay. So, first application of fertilizer on here, which is obviously why I don't remember how to get into the field that much. But, we will work our way around and see how much we get done. Now the other option I do have is to get a spreader that is capable of running narrow tyres. I could use up some of my solid fertilizer, although I think my planter takes it. I generally don't use solid fertilizer since the spreader I have is the big dual axle, and you can only have big tyres on it, so it tends to tear up the crops once they're growing. So I can run around with a freshly planted field, but as soon as it starts growing you're going to rip the crop up, so I don't run that as a fertilizer. Lime, it's great because it has good capacity and a good spreading width. There's a couple of smaller mod spreaders as well. I don't know if they do lime, that's the problem. Our fields are quite big, so we tend to go through lime quite quickly. But that should be less, and with precision farming, so we should use less if we lime every third harvest. So I might need to do both of our barley fields as soon as we harvest them in the summer. And I said I was going to speed up time, so we'll do that. But yeah, they may be. Ours is only on its will only be on its second harvest. I might wait until we harvest the maize and then lime both of them. Maize I'm planning as sheep food for next winter, so unfortunately we don't have any grass to feed our sheep this winter or early spring, and that's hopefully not going to affect their health by too much. I believe in Farm Sim 17 the cows had a boost of milk production in the winter so that it offset their health reduction from not having grass. We're doing still about 1,000 litres, good. Although we did start with about 1,700, so I don't think we're going to do this in one go. Which is going to involve us running down to the store, grabbing some more liquid fertilizer. Could grab the Land Rover in the Ivor Williams trailer and just go and put a bunch of IBCs on the back. And then we can just follow this around as we go. I won't have a pipe with me, obviously, or hose with me. reminds me. Yeah, my phone needs some power too, desperately. I was going to do that before I started the stream, but I forgot. So there will be probably a few phone beeps in the next few minutes while that all does its thing. And obviously with the contracts I have to be a lot more careful with overlapping, because precision farming doesn't work with contracts. This is still just base game. Fertilize it twice, 3 times because we're playing seasons, and no metered application so that it doesn't apply where you've already applied it, whereas that does work on your fields. I mean, it still looks like we're spraying the entire width, but in your own fields it's only spraying the bits you haven't actually got fertilizer on. And then if you drive over a part of the field which is mostly fertilized, the spray nozzles effect will turn off, and you won't. So when you're at the end of the field and doing a turnaround, it just does its thing. Yeah, it turns off while you turn around and then reapply. It restarts when you hit the not got any fertilizer in bits. It's nice. That was one of the gripes I had in 17, was you couldn't control your fertilizer usage, but your seed usage was automatically controlled. So if you're using a planter that doesn't, you have to cultivate first. You could cultivate a field, and then you take your planter into the field and start planting. And if the planter's driving over an area that already has seed in it can't seed, because it requires ground that is cultivated or ploughed. With the direct drills, which cultivate and then plant seed, you were ripping up you were always ripping up what was in the ground and putting down a new full planter width of seed. And because of that, I tended to use seeders that didn't direct seed. So I always had to cultivate my fields, and then I always had, then I wasn't wasting the seed I was putting in, which is why we were using the Lemkin 12 meter seeder most of the time on law folds, just because it saves seed. Okay, we're down to 300. Put cruise on, and we're third done. I'm going to put cruise on. We're going to waste a ton of. That's annoying. Well, we're never going to finish this field with what we've got in the tanks, so it is what it is. Time 10:30. And pull over. There we go. Close the gap. I really haven't closed the gap, have I? How are we doing? 140. Well, that's about as close as I'm going to get. Now, since I'm down this end of the field, we'll depart the way we came in and go to the store and get some more fertilizer. I am really not following that right-hand line very well. Good grief. Again, this is why this small tractor actually has GPS on it, so I can do a thorough field coverage without drifting off. Okay, we're done. Probably shouldn't drive with the boom in action. I know some equipment in 17, if you didn't stop when you were folding it up, it wouldn't engage the clips. And so if you went out and drove on the road, the arms of the equipment would flail around because they weren't fastened to the chassis. Don't know that that's a problem with 19. And I don't think it was ever a problem with sprayers. Leaf shadows are very distracting. The branch shadows are very distracting. Okay. So what I'm not sure is if there is an entrance at this end of the field. It would be nice if there was, but conversely, it would mean that we've left the gate at the bottom of the field open. I think the great demand is for eggs, so not an issue that we're really contending with. I think that the gate I'm getting mixed up with is field number 4. Has a gate. We're now level with 4. Yeah, and there's a gate there. So that's field number 4, not a concern of ours. Oh, I forgot about that. So on the other side of the hedge to our left, there is a placeables area, like we have the bottom storage on our farm. So that, if you wanted to do Oak Glen Farm, that would be an expansion area, although it's a long drive to it. You have to come all the way up to the roundabout here, and then should be an entrance right there. So that takes you to the auxiliary placeable area up at this end of the map. But I know Oak Glen Farm doesn't have a lot of space to work. It's probably, it's adequate for pigs and doing small farming, but a lot of the fields around there are huge. Do I have a pipe here? I don't look like I have a hose here, so it doesn't matter. I mean, we'll use the old-fashioned way of doing things. And pallets, fertilizer tank, and I'm going to get 2. Because 1 is more than, or no, we can carry more than 1. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we'll probably want another one. Oh, really? I am confused. Oh, there's 900 litres in there. Don't tell me the front tank filled from there, the back tank filled from there. No. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Oh well. Okay, so we got 2 partials. If I had a hose here, I could fix that. But we don't, so we won't. We'll just go back to the field, finish it off, and then take the next contract, which is up opposite the animal dealer. Oh, you're going to be going the same way I am. That's not acceptable. Not exactly a fast tractor, but definitely faster than the traffic. Another nice thing about Farm Sim 22, the traffic is going to go faster. So, yay! 17 and 19, it was. I mean, obviously it makes the map feel a little bit more alive, but oh boy, is it a pain in the butt. I could cheat and drive through the hedge there. We're not going to. I mean, I kind of, because of the restricted clearance on some of these fields, it is nice that the hedges are not hard. What's the word for it? Not hard obstacles. The fences are, the trees are, but hedges not. So they can take some liberties with things like the sprayer, which do take up cover a lot of area. It's one of the reasons why I like spraying rather than solid fertilizer. Ooh. Although that said, solid fertilizer doesn't. Solid fertilizer doesn't get hooked up on anything because it's a box on the back of your tractor. If it gets hooked up on something, then you've really messed up. Okay, here we are. So that gate kind of opens the right way. Although it could do with opening a bit wider. Alright, and here we are again. Let's spread our wings and fly. Or something. Don't even recall what boom width I've got this set on. I think I started with the minimum because I didn't want to waste too much, and it gets unwieldy if you're running this setup with the maximum boom width. But for the most part, sort of mid-length is kind of okay. Okay, back to there and go. We're doing this a little bit across the grain of the planter, which is why I'm drifting. One of the reasons I'm drifting. Now I'm drifting to the left. But, it's not as easy as you would think trying to follow the fertilizer map and drive. So I missed a bit again. There's a big turn right. That's, again, so long as we get it mostly done, this is good. And we'll get paid. Must be quite close. Let's cruise control on. 89%. possibly just this run up might be enough. Which is good, because that's about 300 litres gone. 93. Now, it's going to take a little bit more. So the missed bits are fine. We just have to do some of this bit. Keep an eye out for the message. 95. Ugh. And I don't mind that fields aren't square. It's a little bit more of a challenge. And obviously, Farm Sim 22, we're not going to have our GPS guides and stuff like that at the get-go. I mean, they have included so many of the gameplay quality of life mods into the base game now. Turn it off, fold it up, get paid. Okay, field 42's at the top. 21 will be going back the way we've come. 29 doesn't pay. 28, 41. So was it 42 and 41? That's nice. Take 42 next. So 42 and 41 are these two. That's a good start. And then we have things like 28 and stuff like that. We'll figure those out later. Obviously, I want to try and get fields are close together. I want to try and get those done. And then we'll have a play around and see how much time's left at the end of the day. Because this should put us up to darkness, I think. Game speed. Ooh.